Hey K-pop stans and music lovers all over the world, what's up? I'm Julie, your entertainment insider from Juan's Info Break, and today's episode is huge. It's been 6 long years, but yes, Queens of K-pop 21 are back, and we're breaking down their legendary journey from their explosive debut to their epic return to the stage in 2024. Now, whether you've been a blackjack since day one or you're a new fan discovering their magic, this one's for you. So sit tight, grab your light sticks, and let's take a deep dive into everything about anyone. Alright, let's start from the very beginning. Back to the late 2000s, when YG Entertainment was planning something big. At the time, K-pop was starting to explode globally, but the girl group concept was still very much focused on bubblegum pop, cute visuals, and sugary tunes. Enter 2NE1. So how did they form? YG's legendary CEO, Yang Hyun-suk, is often credited with having an eye for talent, but he wasn't the only one. Many people in the company saw the potential in these 4 individuals. Let's talk about the unique talents that were brought together to form this iconic group. First up, CL, or Lee Chae-rin. Before 2NE1, CL was already making waves in the underground music scene and had trained under various labels in Japan and France. This wasn't your typical K-pop idol training. CL brought that fierce, bad girl energy that no one else could. She's multilingual, incredibly talented, and a born leader. She actually trained with YG for about 3 years. And fun fact, she was initially supposed to debut as a solo artist, but fate had different plans. And just look at her swagger even during her trainee days. She was always destined to lead the pack. Then we have Park Boom, the vocal powerhouse of the group. Boom was actually rejected multiple times before finally debuting. She went through a tough journey, rejections and years of training, but her persistence paid off. Before joining YG, she studied at Berklee College of Music in the US, which helped her develop that iconic voice that could switch between pop, ballad, and R&B so effortlessly. Her emotional depth is what made her stand out. You know what's crazy? Boom was originally a YG solo trainee too. Can you imagine? 2 of the group members were initially meant to be soloists, but the magic happened when these individual talents combined into something incredible. Next, we've got Sandara Park, aka Dara. Now, Dara's story is probably the most unique. Unlike the others, she was already famous in the Philippines. Dara was a massive star in the Philippines, known for her acting and singing, so she already had a taste of fame before joining YG. But YG saw something in her that was different from her cute and sweet image on TV. She had the ability to adapt and bring a fresh, quirky charm to the group. Dara's story is such a glow-up moment, from being the pambansang krung krung of the Philippines to the K-pop royalty we know today. Last but not least, the youngest member, Minzy. Gong Minzy was known for her sick dance moves even before debuting. She actually went viral at a young age thanks to a dance video posted online, and YG immediately scouted her. She was trained under the best, and her dancing became one of 2NE1's key strengths. At just 15, she debuted with 2NE1, but despite her age, she was already a seasoned performer. Alright, so now that the group was formed, the world needed to get ready for something big. In 2009, 2NE1 made their debut with the track Fire, and let me tell you, it was explosive. Fire had this hard-hitting beat, futuristic visuals, and a whole lot of attitude. It wasn't just your average girl group debut, it was a statement. They weren't here to fit the mold, they were here to break it. Right off the bat, 2NE1 became known for their bold concepts, blending hip-hop, electronic, and pop sounds in a way that no other girl group had done before. After Fire, some people wondered, could 2NE1 keep the momentum going? Well, they didn't just keep it, they exceeded it. Enter I Don't Care, a completely different vibe that showed their versatility. This song was more laid back, more pop R&B, and it just clicked with fans. I Don't Care became a major hit, winning multiple awards and topping charts for weeks. It was a breakup anthem, and the message was empowering, telling people it's okay to walk away from toxic relationships. It was relatable, and it made them queens of the summer in 2009. From tough, edgy warriors to confident, laid-back divas, 2NE1 showed they could do it all. Fast forward to 2011, and the world was about to witness the pinnacle of 2NE1's career. I Am the Best was released, and it became their signature song. Even if you're not into K-pop, you've probably heard this track. It's literally everywhere. Ads, fashion shows, clubs, you name it. I Am the Best had this infectious beat, a message of self-confidence, and visuals that screamed badass. This was the anthem of self-empowerment, and it took the world by storm. Not only did it top the charts in Korea, but it also made its way into Western media. Microsoft used it for an ad campaign, and it helped introduce K-pop to a global audience. And let's not forget that 2NE1 was one of the first K-pop groups to hold concerts overseas. Their Nolza concert in 2011 was a milestone in K-pop history. Let's pause for a second and talk about what made 2NE1 so special. Sure, their music was top tier, but they had more than just hits. It was their whole package. From their fashion to their stage presence, everything about 2NE1 was revolutionary. First, fashion. 2NE1 wasn't afraid to push boundaries. They collaborated with famous designers like Jeremy Scott, who loved their bold, futuristic style. From CL's signature oversized sunglasses to Boom's quirky outfits, every member had their own unique look, and together they were like a fashion movement. Musically, they were just as daring. They weren't afraid to mix genres: hip-hop, reggae, electronic, and even rock. They played with sounds that no other K-pop groups were touching at the time. Songs like Go Away and Can't Nobody showed how they could mix vulnerability with absolute power. As much as 2NE1 was on top of the world, they also faced their fair share of struggles. Behind the glitz and glam, there were personal challenges and controversies that would eventually take a toll on the group. One of the biggest challenges came in 2014 when Park Boom was involved in a scandal over alleged drug smuggling. Boom had been caught in a controversy involving medication she had brought from the US, which was legal in America but not in Korea. While it was later revealed that Boom had a medical condition and the medication was prescribed by a doctor, the media and public weren't as forgiving. The scandal resulted in her going on a long hiatus, and the group also faced backlash, which affected their promotional activities. Then, in 2016, another blow came when Minzy, the youngest member, decided to leave the group. Minzy had been with 2NE1 since she was a teenager, and she was often praised for her dancing and stage presence. But after years of being in the group, she decided to pursue her own path. YG Entertainment announced that Minzy's departure was due to her desire to focus on her solo career. In 2015, 2NE1 surprised fans at the Mama Awards with a surprise performance of their hit song Fire and I Am the Best. It was emotional, raw, and powerful. Little did we know that this would be their final performance as 2NE1. And then came the heartbreaking announcement. In 2016, YG Entertainment officially announced 2NE1's disbandment. I still remember the shockwaves that news sent through the K-pop community. 2NE1 was at the top, and many people thought they'd be around for much longer. And in January 2017, they released their farewell song, Goodbye, which was a heartbreaking goodbye letter to their fans. YG Entertainment stated that due to personal circumstances and the group's inability to stay active as a whole, the decision was made to disband. CL, Dara, and Boom each renewed contracts as solo artists with YG, but the group as we knew it was officially over. However, the members themselves revealed in interviews later that they weren't informed about the decision to disband until it was publicly announced.
기회가 많이 있었으면 좋겠어요. 다른 멤버들도.
This caused tension between the company and the group, especially with how the situation was handled.
가족 같은 멤버들과 지금 잠깐 이별을 하게 됐어요.
So what happened after the disbandment? Well, the members didn't just disappear. Each of them went on their own solo journey, and they've all made their mark in different ways. Let's start with CL, the group's leader. CL wasted no time in launching her solo career and expanding her influence internationally. She released hits like Lifted, which made it onto the Billboard Hot 100, and she even performed at Coachella. CL was determined to continue breaking barriers, and she's become a symbol of empowerment, especially for Asian artists in the Western music industry. CL's presence on the global stage is undeniable. She's always had that it factor, and it's incredible to see how she's still pushing boundaries in music, fashion, and even in Hollywood. Next, let's talk about Boom. After years of being out of the spotlight, Boom made a triumphant return in 2019 with her solo single, Spring.
I'm really happy and thankful for working with the Break Sound.
Her comeback was highly anticipated, and she did not disappoint. Boom's voice, as always, was captivating, and Spring charted well in Korea. She's since been a regular on music shows and continues to connect with fans through her powerful ballads. Seeing Boom back on stage was such a heartwarming moment. Her journey has been tough, but her resilience is so inspiring. Now, Dara continued to shine in a different way. She became one of the top TV personalities in Korea, appearing on various variety shows and hosting gigs. She's also active in the fashion world and continues to be a beloved figure in the Philippines, where she's still referred to as a superstar.
To anyone ka ba?
Oo. Bakit?
Pwede ka ba sa akin ka lang? Hindi to for anyone.
Dara's charm is just magnetic. Whether she's on a variety show or posting on social media, she's always relatable, and her fans adore her for it. And finally, Minzy. After leaving To Anyone, Minzy took some time to focus on her solo career. She released her solo album Uno in 2017 and continues to perform and showcase her incredible dance skills. In October 2020, Minzy established her own company, MZ Entertainment, to manage her future endeavors. A month later, she partnered with Viva Entertainment to pursue her musical career in the Philippines.
그래서 음악을 통해서 서로 힐링하고.
On November 20th, 2020, she released the Tagalog version of her single, Lovely. Minzy's career is a testament to her versatility as an artist. She's still growing and evolving, and it's exciting to see what she'll do next. Okay, we've waited long enough. Let's talk about the moment we've all been waiting for, the 2024, the To Anyone Welcome Back Tour. To Anyone is finally making their much-anticipated return to the stage with their Welcome Back Tour. This concert series celebrates the group's 15th anniversary since their debut and marks their first headlining tour since the All or Nothing World Tour in 2014.
저희 음악을 사랑해주시고 항상 응원해주시는 많은 분들께 감사드리고 싶고.
The excitement among fans is palpable as this tour promises to reignite the fire that To Anyone fans have kept burning throughout the years. On social media earlier this year, the members teased something huge, and soon enough it was confirmed. YG Entertainment officially announced To Anyone's reunion, much to the delight of Blackjacks worldwide. The announcement stated that the group would embark on a world tour beginning in South Korea, with the first show set for October 2024 at the Olympic Hall in Seoul. This venue holds sentimental value, as it was also the location of their first concert tour, Nolza, in August 2011. As news spread, fans were ecstatic but expressed some discontent regarding the venue's capacity, fearing that it wouldn't accommodate the overwhelming demand. In response, YG Entertainment clarified that all larger venues in Seoul were already booked, assuring fans that they were doing their best to accommodate as many supporters as possible. The excitement doesn't stop there. Following the tour announcement, it was revealed that To Anyone's Japanese fan club, Blackjack Nolza, would be reopening in early August, further fueling the anticipation for the group's return. After the kickoff in Seoul, the Welcome Back Tour is set to expand to Southeast Asia and Japan in November, with plans to extend to other countries in 2025, responding to global demand. This tour not only marks a significant milestone for 2NE1, but also serves as a testament to their enduring legacy in the K-pop industry. The world is ready for 2NE1's comeback, and the girls are poised to reclaim their throne as K-pop royalty once again. Can we just take a moment to appreciate this? I mean, after so many years, they're still one of the most anticipated acts in K-pop. Fans from all over the world are already buying tickets, and the tour stops are insane. Tokyo, Singapore, Bangkok, Manila, and more. This is going to be huge. So, after everything we've talked about today, from their rise to fame to their struggles and ultimate reunion, what is 2NE1's legacy? Why are they still so loved after all these years? 2NE1's legacy isn't just about the hits they released. It's about the doors they opened for other artists, especially women in K-pop. They weren't afraid to be bold, to be different, and to challenge norms in an industry that often prioritizes perfection. They showed that strength and vulnerability can coexist, and that's why they've left an indelible mark on K-pop. 2NE1 may have disbanded, but their influence is everywhere. From the new generation of girl groups to the way K-pop is perceived globally, 2NE1 will always be remembered as trailblazers. And now, with their 2024 comeback tour, they're proving that their legacy is still burning bright. Queens of K-pop, legends, icons. 2NE1 will always have a special place in the hearts of blackjacks and K-pop fans worldwide. And that's it for today's episode of Hwan's Info Break. What do you guys think about 2NE1's epic comeback? Which city are you planning to see them in? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any updates. I'm Julie, your entertainment insider from Hwan's Info Break, and I'll see you in the next video.